What's going on? How I get to the bottom? What's going on here? You try to have Jared and E take over my show? What's going on here? It could just because of seniority. I got to put you on the bottom.
There we go.
It's all good, bro. It's all
What's
good.
going on, guys? Welcome to episode 17 of New York Football Talk. And I have like a different setup so I can see multiple screens now. So I can already see there's 26 people here, already 4 likes. Really appreciate the early squad, the people who get in, they watch the countdown. I got to figure out how to get some music on there or something like that. 12 in the building, 12 in the building. I see it. What's going on? Tristan Smith, what's going on? Mr. Polius, what's going on? Make sure you use your emojis. Thank you, Tristan. Oh, Mr. Ellis. If that's the Mr. Ellis, I think it is. We're going to talk about you. Congratulations, Eagle. Big win, big win. I realized that there is it's a holiday. So hopefully a holiday tomorrow. So, everyone who celebrates, I hope you enjoy. Mr. Negron, what's going on? What's going on? So people are filing in already, 37 people in here. We have so much to break down. We have a reveal to do at the beginning of the show. But first, Newsday, Jared Valluzzi. What's going on, man?
Oh, not much, man. I mean, I'm pumped to talk about the separation week. I mean, talk about some statements. Pretty crazy. And yeah, dude, I'm honestly also excited about the turnout we have early on, man. Already got some guys in the chat. It's gonna be a fun episode. Lot to go over.
Yo, real quick, this is the first one I'm putting up on here, man. Lyle, man, appreciate you, man. I know, it's $6.99. First of all, like, you know what I'm saying? Don't try to tarnish what I'm selling, all right? It's $6.99, all right? And YouTube takes a good portion of that, all right? So, I really appreciate, your mother let you be outside, man. That's nice. That's nice. Appreciate you. And Mr. Borhi, how you doing, man? Big win for you guys. We'll talk about that.
Huge win, yeah.
Yeah, you freaking YouTube taxes, man. Can't let a brother be great. E, you know all about the YouTube taxes, man. What's up?
Yeah, I can't complain, bro. It was an exciting week. Couple BTA games,
Separation.
but also some.
You said a couple?
A couple, yeah.
You said a couple?
Yeah. I'm being generous with that,
Generous.
But separation week is the perfect way to describe it, and we here to talk about it.
Hold on, real quick. You know what else we gotta talk about, man? Yo, show the merch, man. Show the merch.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What y'all think, man? Look, listen, man. Real soon, every game I'm at, play of the game, free shirts, man. So you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's something that we're gonna do going forward. And yeah, man. Hope y'all like what we got in store coming.
See, Jared, to be your own man's, man. He's stealing my whole flow, man. It's crazy. Ego's a way more game to me, though.
Yeah.
That's love, man. What else is love is my guy. GG's in the chat. GG just became a member. Really appreciate you, my guy.
I got you, Lyle. I got you, Lyle.
You see, that's what you see. Look at the free market I'm giving you. See, Makai need a shirt,
That's my boy. I got him too. Word.
Love it. So of course, let's start getting into it a bit. This is where we always have to start. The Sage Standout Student Section Scholarship, Tottenville. We're going to talk about Tottenville E-Hall, one of the biggest previews, one of the biggest previews of the year. That's today. Tottenville is your turn. A lot of people saying Tottenville is the favorite for this scholarship, man. A lot of people Tottenville as the favorite. So hopefully you guys don't disappoint. All the Tottenville guys in the chat, make sure you guys share this. I think you're back in school on Thursday or something like that. So make sure you guys share this out. Make sure you guys have a nice student section to welcome those pesky Dutchmen to 100 Luton. Hopefully you guys can get them with a win. And of course, just like my man GG just did. Make sure you guys become Sage members. You don't want to miss out on any of the action. Huge shout out to Southshore High School, really helping us kick off the member-only streams. Kind of a coincidence, to be honest, that Southshore just the first 2 weeks it just kind of worked out that Southshore had games on Saturday, and it just worked out with the schedule that they had. What I deemed to be one of the second best games after the game of the week. And to be honest, the Southshore Port Richmond game was the best game of the weekend in the 4A at least. So if you guys missed out on that, you missed out. You missed out on the closest game of the weekend. So make sure you become members so you don't miss the next one. This I don't agree with here. 5 teams in a 4A division. It just never works. I think the Catholic League, I think there have been a bunch of leagues have kind of tried this before.
You can't do 5. Can't do 5.
I think hasn't even the PSAL tried to do this before. It just doesn't work. Like you need you need at least like a 8 minimum. Like the Catholic League usually has 8, right? And even that's a little.
Yeah, I mean Catholic League this year is a little bit shorter because like the AAA and stuff, but even that it's like I prefer it to be a little bit more, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I appreciate the members in the chat testing out their emojis. If you guys have, this will be something I will ask the members. Some new chat, some new emojis, some custom emojis. Of course, we have the blur. We have the lineup. We have all the team logos. But TYJ, if you make some money from them shirts, man, maybe we get a TYJ emoji. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, yeah, that's a great idea. That's a great
idea.
So
definitely let me know if you guys have some ideas. All right, so 59 people in the chat. I think it's time to reveal. Let's go to this screen first. Go to this screen first. I think it's time to reveal the flex game of the week. E does not know the game. Jared doesn't know the game. Only my guy LJ. LJ knows everything going on in New York City. You know what I'm saying? Like when you make the graphics, you always know what's happening first. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to my guy LJ. We're really excited for this game. A lot of people have been asking like, oh, like can you add this game? Can you do 3A game? And the answer is yes, we can do a 3A game. And this is not a members only game. It is sponsored and it is a game of the week. So let's get into it. So the flex game of the week
I hope it is.
is APR versus McKee.
Oh
wow. Dude, and both teams are hot. Like
yeah. This is a goodie right here.
2 teams, they're flying high. Both teams 2-0. We'll talk about their games. APR versus McKee, sponsored by A. Philip Randolph. Appreciate everybody over there. And like I said, man, the 3A is the most unpredictable league that we have in the PSAL. I think it's beginning to form shape a little bit, but it's not forming shape as much as I would say the 4A is, right? Because the 4A this week, this week really kind of showed what the 4A is probably going to look like. I'm almost ready to, I always hold my tongue on certain things, but I think I'm ready to make more statements this week. Why? Just to remind you guys, if I'm not mistaken, there are 8 PSAL games. So with 2 gone, we are a quarter of the way through already. So just think about that. Let me double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes. So there are 8 PSAL games. We've already had 2. So a quarter of the season is already gone. Like that just shows you that we waited all year, all summer, all winter, and we're already a quarter of the way through. I mean, this is the last week of September. So yeah, this game I'm really excited for. McKee, they've been flying high. Even in the game they lost against Port Richmond, they definitely looked good in that game, playing up. They just came down from the 4A where they were a game away from making the playoffs. And they had a good start to the season. And speaking about good start to the season, of course, APR. That's a team that a lot of people saw as some of the favorites to go to the championship last year in the 3A. Fell a little short in that semifinal, but 48-6 over Lehman and 50-6 over Lane this weekend. So I'll kick it to TYJ, my guy E. What do you think about this one, man?
I think this is an exciting matchup. Like you said, APR coming out the gate hot, scoring 48 in their first game, putting up a 50 ball. And APR was definitely one of my favorites in the 3A. But I feel like McKee is a program who they're catching fire right now, and I feel like they're earning their respect. They're playing good football, Sinke Thomas. I can't wait to see him perform against APR. They have a kid named David Harris who's a pretty good ball player as well. I feel like they have some athletes over at McKee. Um, I'm not sure if APR has too much for McKee. That's something that I'm gonna pay attention to with this game in terms of the weapons and but I feel like this should be a very interesting matchup. I want to see what McKee is made of more than APR in this game. I want to see how
Interesting.
McKee hangs.
Okay. What do you think, Jared?
Yeah, I'm super excited for this, and honestly, like I'll say because before the show, I was actually gathering highlights for both teams. Like I'm gonna do a little something on my Instagram, and now I get to say it's live on Sage Media, so that excites me. But this one's good. TYJ just mentioned Sinke Thomas. I've been hearing about him for a while. He's a really good player. I mean, this game features two of the most talented running backs in the PSAL with Sinke Thomas and Ahmed Tori from APR. Both of them are phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, both teams have just been so dominant recently. I mean, APR, they've put up nearly 100 points in the last two games. And then McKee has just been, making statements, shutting out Bayside. Their defense also held a good New Utrecht offense to 8 points. I mean, they returned New U's got, Ishmael Sindor and some weapons, but McKee's been steady. And also their quarterback, David Knight, just had a really good game against Bayside, throwing for over 150 yards, 2 touchdowns, and Emmanuel Poku. Yeah. And Poku also for APR was slinging it a little bit downfield too. So excited for the quarterback play. This one should be good. And it's also just going to show a lot about the 3A division. Is APR, one of those favorites, or is McKee one of those favorites? Maybe both of them. Who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, man. If I just take a quick look at 3A, but real quick, let me just give the shout outs in the chat. I see my guy Kasim Cromwell. Salute to you. I mean, you had quite the effort in that game. Make sure you stick around. We're gonna speak about that game second after we speak about the game of the week. So definitely salute to you, my guy. If I just take a quick look at the 3A division, and by the way, 3A, I'm talking about you guys at the beginning of the show, so don't say we don't talk about you guys. All right, I know y'all love to. By the way, everyone who's in my DMs telling us what to talk about, I'm just gonna end up laughing at you. So just don't waste your time. All right, you don't want to don't end up in the group chat. You know what I'm saying? Like don't tell me, E, or Jared what to talk about in the show, please. All right. Anyway,
and then we spoke about some programs, mind you.
Yes, correct. Don't yell at us and be wrong. But definitely don't do that.
It's like you gotta watch the show, right?
But even saying all that, I really do appreciate the enthusiasm for sure. But that's just a little message. All right. So when we look at this, man, I mean, I'm not gonna say separation week the way that we're gonna talk about the 4A. But man, we're kind of seeing this league take shape even through the first quarter of it. Sheepshead Bay, of course, that's a team that jumps out here, of course, right? Sheepshead Bay has kind of been the talk of the town. They've been flying high. APR. They're a team that we expected to be strong along with Truman. Truman's not in amongst the undefeateds, but we know why that is. They went to James Madison and they had a war. They had a battle there. They were up big, couldn't hold on to the lead. But I think, we can all say Truman is definitely one of the teams to watch. And of course, we spoke about McKee and another team up here, Stuyvesant. That they're 2-0. Stuyvesant is doing 2-0. And then you take a look at John Adams and Utrecht. It's shaping out to be a really, really interesting division. Like, what do you guys think about when you're looking at this, man?
When I'm looking at this, I'm just happy that Madison is just adding like a spark to the 3A.
Yeah.
Offensively, I feel like they can compete with a lot of these schools. Just with that week 1 game showing the overtime shootout, that shows what those playmakers are capable of. And like you just mentioned, you can't sleep on Truman. Truman is always a gritty, tough team. So that 1-1, you can't sleep on Truman. And shout out to Stuyvesant, like you just said. Stuyvesant 2-0. They rolling right now. So I feel like those first 6, 7 schools there, it's like it's a nice mix up there. So I can't wait to see how this unfolds.
Jared?
Yeah, it's a really good mix, man. Love what you said about Madison. They really came out the gate with, these like the mix of youth and experience. They're playing really well. McKee's looking really good. This McKee APR game is going to tell a lot. Obviously, Sheepshead has been Sheepshead. They've been really good, but I'm excited about Stuyvesant. I'm excited about New Utrecht, who got a win, which I'm sure we'll touch on at some point in the show. Big win for them, and of course they got some talent. And Truman, Truman is this close to being 2-0, and they had a great win against Midwood this week. I'm just looking at this whole thing, and I'm like, wow, man! Like when you get to November and it's playoffs, if you're the 2 or 3 seed, like you got a really tough first round game because of how many good teams are in this division.
Yeah, man. So, and just huge shout out to the 3A guys. They're some of our biggest supporters. So just in case you're just coming in and you're wondering why we're doing things a little out of order, it's because of this announcement. Saturday, 2:30, sponsored by APR. It's McKee versus APR, the flex game of the week. And Lyle, you better still be in the chat. I know I'm talking about the 3A, Lyle. You better still be here. There's no work tomorrow, right? And shout out to my guy Deli. We're going to talk about you guys a little later in the show, especially when it comes to that preview. So give us about 30, 45 minutes, and it's all about E-Hall Tottenville. But there's quite a bit to get through first. So yes, sir, we'll see you there, Zaire.
Zaire Jones, he's having a year. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get into the first topic of the day, which is, of course, the Sage standout game of the week, which was Eagle Brooklyn versus Brooklyn Tech. And, they played this game at 4 p.m., one of the early kickoffs, and they really set the tone of what this week would look like in the 4A. 59-6, Eagle Academy over Brooklyn Tech. E, you were at the game. Your first thoughts on this one?
Eagle, I feel like Eagle, like we've been mentioning, that offense is just, they're getting better week in, week out. The score was 59-6, and I think we can all agree that the pace of that game and how fast Eagle was scoring, it could have been worse than this final score. But just high-powered offense, 3 touchdowns. First play of the game, Tyler Grayson takes it for 6. He ended up with 3 on the day. Shifty Zaire Schulters, 2 TDs. Juju TD catch. I believe Aaron
Yes.
Smith, he threw
Yeah,
for
he
3
did.
touchdown passes, I believe. Sincere had a TD catch. It's just I feel like every week is just so many guys contributing, and that's a great problem for an offensive coordinator to have, with that many weapons. CJ McCracken didn't even play this game, so Lord knows what he would have did if he played. Defensively, you had the D-line doing what they do. Nathaniel Ellis, that's a guy who stood out to me. Because I feel like with this Eagle D-line, we mentioned the same names. We mentioned Chase, we mentioned Sincere. So it was good to see Nathaniel Ellis add that spark. I think he had a couple of sacks. Yeah, so and in terms of Brooklyn Tech, I just want to say one thing before we pass it on to someone else. I don't want people to sleep on Brooklyn Tech. Um, I feel like they're a better team than this game, and I still feel that Brooklyn Tech is going to be a tougher matchup for most of the other 4A schools. It's just that Eagle is really good this year. So don't look at this game and say, "Oh, Brooklyn Tech is this, they're that." No, I feel like with a lot of other 4A schools, Brooklyn Tech is going to put up a fight. So,
Oh, I love that you say that. Jared, your thoughts?
Yeah, I definitely agree. I gotta say, I'm definitely surprised. I thought, Brooklyn Tech would keep it a little bit closer, but Eagles just firing on all cylinders right now. This offense is looking like one of the best in New York with all these athletes and everything. And also defensively, they own the line of scrimmage. They really
Yes.
did.
Yes.
I mean,
yeah,
it wasn't even
yeah,
close.
Defensively
yeah.
and offensively.
Yeah, it just wasn't. And listen, we were talking about it on the podcast. We're like, listen, Eagles D line, and now we're adding Nathan Ellis's name to it. He was, 14. He was all over the place. He was exceptional.
Yeah.
And we're saying on the podcast, like, listen, Brooklyn Tech, they can pass the ball, but like, will their offensive line, be able to withstand these studs at Eagle? And unfortunately, it didn't quite go their way. Eagle was really, really good up front. Yeah, and they they look really put together so far, and it's been a lot of fun to watch. But also want to mention East Point again. Really wouldn't sleep on Brooklyn Tech, especially my South Shore guys in the chat. I know you guys got Canarsie this week. South Shore plays Brooklyn Tech next week. I wouldn't just sleepwalk through these next 2 weeks. I know you guys aren't going to do that, but yeah, Brooklyn Tech can certainly play. This isn't a 53-point difference, but Eagle is a very good team, and they're in the conversation with the top schools in New York City for sure.
Great points. I want to add, a couple of people, as I was walking off the field, they come up to me and they're like, "Oh, Dre, like, you guys were saying that Brooklyn Tech had the schemes and they can out scheme us, da da
They
da da
said
da."
that to you?
Right?
Oh, man.
They
Listen,
told me that too,
li-
though, Andre. They definitely told me
yes.
that too.
See,
But
now, hold on. Let me slide E up here because now you
Yeah.
understand.
they definitely
every
told me
time
that.
Every time people see us, they want to have a podcast with us, and I absolutely love us. Right?
Mhm.
I love it. They want to tell us how wrong we are, and Jared, like,
Like,
once you,
what you guys predicted? I heard what you guys predicted. It's like, bro.
so we are the shields, but because like, everybody loves Jared, Jared can't pop. When Jared pop up, it's really a scene. Me and E are in the trenches every week, so they be grabbing us up, shaking us like.
Getting to us. Yeah. We getting all the heat. Yeah.
Might be joining you
We
guys soon,
getting
but we'll
all the
see.
heat.
Oh
We'll see.
man, we'll see. We'll talk about that. But yeah, the point I wanted to make, especially on the whole scheming argument, Brooklyn Tech had a lot of different formations and they had a lot of scheme. And my partner on the call that day, Greg Polius, he said it the best because I was talking about it, and Greg was just like, "Yeah, Eagles just fast. They're just
Yeah.
fast." You can see
Like
like
they
the play that resonates with me the most. I'm pretty sure it was Sincere. Chase, don't kill me if it was you on this play, but Brooklyn Tech is backed up against their on their They're backed up probably on like the 5-yard line or something like that. Empty, you know
Yeah, I know the
exactly
play
what
you're
I'm talking
talking
about.
about.
Empty backfield. They motion Josie, number 13, into the backfield. They snap it, and it's kind of like a fake, and then they're gonna
A little
and then
quick
it's a
dump to
quick
him.
screen to
Yeah.
Ezra. So the idea is that they're gonna leave the end unblocked. I'm pretty sure it was sincere. You kind of freeze him, and then you throw it. And
Not
you
a good
throw it out to
idea.
Ezra, right? That was the scheme. They had the scheme, right? But Eagle had sincere Hester.
Yeah.
So he hashes the two of them. Okay, so thank you. It was sincere. Okay, so you know exactly what to say. Oh, he's in the chat.
And he's here. Yeah.
Too quick.
Yeah.
He said too quick. I was on that.
I love it, yo. I love the people in the chat who are just waiting. They're like, "Oh, when is Dre gonna bring this up?" Because I got my fingers ready to join the conversation. So yeah, it was sincere. Like they got exactly what they wanted. They left him unblocked. He was in no man's land. But then he closed space extremely quickly, and it was almost a safety on that play. It ended up being a safety the next play. But that's what I mean. You can scheme up like West Coast offense, but if the athletes are there, the athletes are there. And I want to do this. I'm going to put myself full screen. I'm going to get my notes out real quick to make sure I say this, and I want you guys to clip this up and send it to them. So, the players of the game was really happy with them. They absolutely deserved it. Tyler Grayson, 3 touchdowns. Zaza, 2 touchdowns. Nate Ellis, he was excellent on the day. But I'm gonna full screen myself because I want to say I am giving out 3 more shirts to Eagle guys. And it's funny that he just says something in the chat because the big men don't get enough love. Shout out to number 76, Luis Teneo, number 72, Imperial Jenkins, and pretty sure it's number 55.
Yeah, 55.
Man. You 3 are also the players of the game because when I rewatched that game, the 2 of them, Luis and Imperial Jenkins, are on the left side of the line, and Eric was pulling all the time, wreaking absolute havoc. I counted 4 touchdowns from the left side of the offensive line. So I want to clap for you guys, man. Like, when we're giving out the player of the games, sometimes we don't give the big guys enough love. Hope you guys can have some grace. It's a little tough it's much easier to see 3 touchdowns from Tyler and 2 touchdowns from Zaire than it is the O-lineman. So I just want to give you guys your moments, congratulate you guys. When I see you guys, you guys got to get some shirts, man. I got to make sure I got some extra larges, you know what I'm saying? And if it's not big enough, just cut the sleeves. Cut the sleeves, boys. So shout out to you guys, man. Because like I said, I counted 4 touchdowns to the left side of that offensive line. Eric Rodriguez, like I said, he was bringing pain every time he pulled. So, great game for you guys. And when it comes to Eagle, this is kind of the performance I've been waiting for. And it's not the score line, it's the physicality, right? We know.
I need that to excel.
I think you might have to cut the sleeves, my boy. I can't lie. I think I only have an excel. So yeah, like the physicality is what I really, really need to see. Like we know that this team was excellent in 7-on-7. We know that this team was excellent through the air. We've seen all the weapons they have. And, the physicality that they were able to impose, I'm sure Brooklyn Tech was even more ready for a pass heavy game. And when Eagle came out lining up in, double tight ends with a up back, that might have threw them off a little bit. So, yes, Eagle was physically imposing in this game. So maybe it was easier to, it's always easier to push someone around when they're smaller than you, right? But that's what I really needed to see in this game. It was a really great challenge. And I think the next challenge for Eagle Academy is, how do you react when things aren't going well? I think that when I talk about separation week, I think that Eagle are a top 5 team in this league. I can now come out and really say that. I think I've seen enough as a core of the season. I think that Eagle Academy is going to be in the playoffs, and I think they are a top 5 team in this league. So, for me to say, they're legit title contenders, they're kind of in that dark horse category, if I had to say it. For me to say they're title contenders is I really need to see what they do once things aren't going well. Because everything, since the Pennsylvania game, you can even argue that game went better than Eagle even thought they could do. Things have been smooth sailing, right? It's really easy to play football when everything's going right. But when things get a little shaky, when you're down 7-0, when maybe if you're down 14, maybe if you go 3 drives in a row without scoring, how can you react? So before I'm ready to put Eagle in some bigger conversations, I kind of have to see them do that. So I'm gonna let you guys react to that. Like, what do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Andre, I mentioned that last week, and I had I had a couple Eagle coaches on my heels. Um, I feel like you said, Eagle is definitely one of the top one of the top teams in the 4A for sure, without a doubt. Um, but we have to see how they react against the E-Hole, which is on their schedule. And I keep mentioning E-Hole because, we got to see how that plays out. They haven't played any team that's the caliber of E-Hole yet. So that's really the Eagle game that I have checked, and I can't wait to see how they perform. I actually think they're gonna perform well against E-Hole, but that's the quality of games they have to play to see if they're battle tested and to see if they can actually, win the big one and things like that. So I definitely agree with that.
And I want to kind of piggyback off of that because I did see some people saying like, oh, like when are you going to give Eagle respect? Oh, you keep let's say moving the goalpost. Um, oh, I guess we can't get respect until we beat a big team. You're using the wrong word in the wrong conversation, right? It's not respect is not the word, right? So we all respect what you guys are doing. It's more of, I like how Tone says it here, like, a step up. Like you're in a different conversation, right? When Curtis beats Wagner 35-3 for the 8th year in a row, no disrespect to Wagner, right? We don't crown Curtis as the champions because they beat Wagner again. It's because Curtis is at a different standard. We have a different standard when we judge Curtis. We have a different standard when we judge Tottenville, right? Tottenville went to the Flossie and took care of business, right? We're not coming here crowning Tottenville as the best team in New York State, right? Because we hold them to a higher standard, and Tottenville holds themselves to a higher standard too, right? They know their season is judged historically. Their season is judged what they do against Lincoln, what they do against E-Hall, and what they do against Curtis. So we're saying that Eagle, maybe you're getting to that place this year. So yeah, does that make sense? I just want to
Absolutely. Let me just piggyback off of one thing too, Andre. Right? I see the comments here. Imhotep is better than E-Hole, and all of this other stuff. Um, I don't think we're trying to make this a debate of how good E-Hole is compared to, schools outside of the PSAL. We all know, just like the athletes know, when you're playing E-Hole at Sid Luckman Field and it's getting real, that's a whole different situation. So that's just the level of comp that we want to see Eagle perform in. That's all. But we definitely like what we're seeing from Eagle so far for sure. The talent, and they're very capable for sure. But we want to see them against a certain level of competition. That's all we saying.
Jared, how about you hop in?
Yeah, I'm honestly really interested. Like, I think Eagle, they're definitely a top 5 team in the PSAL. I think they're, you know, I actually put them at 4th on my list. And listen, they're showing it. They're looking really good, and they have some quality wins so far, some quality performances, but a lot of things can change when you go to Sid Luckman Field. So I'm just excited to see what happens against Erasmus Hall, because at the end of the day, I know they didn't win the championship last year, but they're certainly a big time standard in the PSAL. So let's see what happens there. It's a whole different ball game.
No, absolutely, absolutely. So, real quick before we move on, I just want to give a huge shout out to Cole Scanlon, the quarterback
I was
from
gonna say that too. Yeah, I was
from
definitely
Brooklyn
He's
gonna
good,
Tech.
say
man.
that.
Listen, you might say, "Oh, only 6 points." Like he earned that 6 points. That was a hard earned 6 point there. Running out of the
Bro.
pocket to the right, throwing the ball
Yeah,
probably 30, 40 yards in the air to Caleb
yeah,
Fisher. I thought Caleb Fisher definitely had a great showing of himself with that touchdown catch. He also had a big kick return. I think Tech have weapons. Caleb Fisher, number 14. Ooh, I should have brought his name up. Like, let me
yeah. He
let,
had
let
a
me go bring his name up. Oh, I have it right here. Give me a
few catches. Yeah,
second. Let's see. Oh, why doesn't it? All right. I love PSAL. Thank you for everything you do, but please, can you put the numbers next to the players on the stats? That would really,
yeah.
really help. All right, so it's Cole Fraley. He was number 14. They have him here at 4 catches for 49 yards. I just don't believe that. I really thought number 14 had more catches than that.
Yeah,
And of course, number 13, Ezra Josie. He didn't have like the biggest game. Last week he had 190 yards. He wasn't able to match that this week, but I do think that Brooklyn Tech will be able to compete for that 8th spot. I definitely think again the conglomerate of teams is definitely stretching out a bit. I think, but they really have some weapons, and when you have a quarterback, if they can figure out how to protect him, Eagle Academy is kind of tough. They have one of the best pass rushers in the league, but if you figure out how to protect him, I think they'll be pretty good. I saw um a play where Cole was rolling out to the right, and he literally threw the ball 55 yards on the run. It ended up being
yeah,
incomplete.
yeah.
But I was like, wow, like this is some pretty incredible stuff. He's
Like,
just under duress like the whole game.
and that pass could have been caught too. That's the crazy
One of
thing.
the
I know
best
the I
throws
know
I've
the play
seen.
you're talking about. Yeah, that was crazy. That
Yeah,
was
so
crazy.
so yes, there's definitely diamonds in the rough. Even a 59-6 game. I know that's not the way Brooklyn Tech wanted that to go, but definitely saw some things I liked from the Engineers. Anything else in this game, guys?
Nah,
Nah.
good.
All right. So again, just like I mentioned, you should definitely become a member, because if you weren't a member, you missed what I thought was the most competitive game of the weekend. And maybe numbers wise, yeah, I think it honestly was the most competitive game of the weekend, even though it looks like a big number. But 44-18, Southshore getting their first win of the season over Port Richmond, which a game which I thought was. I think when we look at when the season's over and the playoffs are set, I think this game is going to go a long way in deciding where these teams end up. You were at this game as well, so how about you get the first talk on this?
Yeah, I think like we mentioned the week before, this was a must-win game for the Vikings. Um, and I felt like even during warm-ups and pregame, you felt the energy with South Shore. They had a different pep in their step. Their aura was different pregame. I noticed that off rip when I first walked into on the field. I seen the energy, so that was good to see. And the Vikings had 507 total yards on offense. So,
Wow.
the offense came to life. that was good to see. And the thing that stood out to me the most was the quarterback play. You know, George Adams, he looked more comfortable. 4 passing touchdowns. So, you know, it's good for him to get his feet wet, get his confidence up. Uh, his last name is a little Jason Dion and Rennes Singh. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong.
Rolly.
Rolly.
They call him
Yeah,
Rolly.
Rolly had a day. I feel like he provided the spark. He's making big plays. He's screaming. He's getting hype. That energy is contagious with your fellow teammates. You know, so two TD day for him. I feel like it was so many playmakers on the Vikings who were contributing. You know, Adrian had 169 all-purpose yards. You know, I really like how they're using Adrian and mixing him into the Wildcat. Uh, I think Coach Legree is finding a way to get his guy with the ball in his hands, as he should. You know, um, Adrian with 95 rushing yards with a touchdown, 74 receiving yards. Tamir Lewis, 70-yard TD catch. Um, it was just a lot of guys contributing for Southshore, but just a good win for the Vikings, and most importantly, I feel like for a young team, they needed this, you know, and now hopefully they could build going forward with this win here.
Jared.
Yeah, I mean this was huge. You know, you're going against a very talented Port Richmond team with Kasim Cromwell and AJ Zimmerman, and you're also going against a PR team that's hot. You know, they're coming fresh off of a huge win against New Dorp where they just put on a show. They have a lot of momentum. Southshore doesn't have any momentum, so it's like a really interesting scenario. But the fact that the Vikings, you know, came out, did what they did, and they responded to this challenge and getting that win, it was very impressive. And also the different names that you guys were mentioning that we see in the chat, like we knew Southshore had athletes and had players that can go out there and make plays, and I'm just glad to kind of see it come all together. And George Adams getting into a rhythm. It's going to be very interesting for what the Vikings can do, and they're going to continue building momentum. They have Canarsie this upcoming week, and then you get Brooklyn Tech, a very interesting matchup between two teams that are looking to make noise and go to the playoffs. So I'm very excited for what's ahead. And with Port Richmond, I mean, this game was close. Just came out on the opposite side. I want to see how they do in the future after showing it was back and forth for a while, but I guess kind of ran out of steam a little bit.
Yeah, and I was gonna give a huge shout out to a couple of people on defense. I was trying to look up their number, their name, and their number. I don't have a name for number 54. Sorry if I couldn't find that on the roster
Yeah,
in
he
time.
had a game.
I want to shout out number 54. I want to shout out number 28, Aiden Lakakosade, number 30, David Stewart, and number 99, Pate Sanogo. Forgive me if I'm not mispronouncing those names. I want to shout those guys out, especially because I thought they were very, very good in the front seven, blowing up a lot of plays. Just like Jared was saying, Zimmerman and Kasim Cromwell are really, really great athletes. Especially, I want to give a shout out to Zimmerman. It was my first time getting to see him play,
Yeah,
and
he's
he
good.
definitely really lived up to the billing. First play or second play of the game or something like that, he almost breaks a long touchdown.
Mhm.
But I thought the Vikings really showed some resilience in this game because they had to take a bit of a wobble at the beginning. The first 2 drives weren't great. Port Richmond scored on the first time they had the ball, and this player I did not mention because I wanted to give him a special shout out is number 9, Trevor. Man, Trevor Smith.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
these things, like, when this is why it's so important to watch games, because when you watch games, and this might sound obvious, but maybe it doesn't sound obvious. Actually, no, this isn't obvious because a lot of you guys just watch clips and you don't see the full context of the game, right? So let me teach you guys something, right? Why it's so important to watch games is because you see the context and the flow of the entire game, the story of the entire game. So you understand better why we personally have these opinions of why there's such a great win for Southshore. Because you see the score of 48-18, oh, belt, da, da, da. No, right? In the beginning of this game, just like I said, Southshore, it was a bit of a wobble. And, down 6-0, Port Richmond had the ball. Trevor Smith ends up getting a big interception. He brings it all the way down to the 20-yard line or something like that. That might have been a penalty, but then that ends up, leading to Southshore's first touchdown. And when Trevor caught that interception, I swear I was watching Legree. I was watching my guy Lyle. I just felt like there was an ape on everyone's back. And it just, I just saw, it was almost like I saw the Vikings get their swagger back. I just saw how stressed out they were before that interception. And that could be season-defining, game-changing stuff. Just a play, that small that you'll forget because of, the other, they went on to score 44 points. And even talking about putting more context into this 44-point, this game, I want to give a shout out to LJ because he was the one who actually reminded me of this. I think the score was, oh boy, here we go. I'm about to break myself. It was 12-24. That doesn't sound right at half. I don't think that was the score. Maybe the score
it was 20. I think it was 24-18 at the half.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think it was 24-18. Yeah.
It was.
Cromwell did the little 2-minute drill.
Yeah. I think PSAL has this wrong. Yeah, I remember it being closer at halftime. And Port Richmond returned the kick for a touchdown.
Yeah, that was the momentum
touchdown.
Shift. When they called that back, yeah.
And then when they called it back, Port Richmond really weren't able to recover from that. Just like, E was saying, Kasim I'm seeing him line up our quarterback. I'm like, what's going on? I legitimately, I wasn't on the commentary. I don't know if the members heard me. I was kind of in the peanut gallery, but I was like, what is going on? Kasim is that quarterback? What kind of package is going on here? Trevor, if that's you, man, huge shout out to you. If this is Trevor, because these are the kind of plays. Oh, that's not him. Oh, well.
I think that is. Yeah, Trevor S.
I don't think that is.
His last name is Smith.
Yeah, Jared, do you remember the day where someone was impersonating Tyshawn in the chat?
Oh my God, yes.
I remember that.
They were saying crazy stuff, and then Tyshawn himself came in. It was like, that's not me, or something like that.
I remember that. Yeah.
I was like, yo, that's crazy. Someone went through, someone decided to really change their username and do that.
You guys gotta understand, when I looked at the chat, it saw two Tyshawn. I was like, wait.
So he confirmed that it
is. What is going on? Oh my God, that was hilarious. Sorry, I got sidetracked. But yeah, when I saw Kasim, at quarterback, and then now he's throwing dots, and if I'm not mistaken, did he have the rushing touchdown? I wasn't 100% sure if he had a rushing touchdown.
Did he have a rushing touchdown?
No, he didn't have a rushing touchdown.
He
didn't. It was a receiving touchdown. So he had a passing and a receiving touchdown, which is just tremendous. And this is hilarious. It was just tremendous. Hold on. There's a difference between having a burner account and impersonating somebody. Definitely two different things. So yeah, Kasim, the Fugazi Award, the reigning Fugazi Award winner. I thought he, really showed out. To the point of, he was cramping up and everything like that. And two more people I want to give a huge shout out to. First is Mr. George Adams. Listen, when you not only take the position, Tristan, you had a good game. Tristan, it was a fumble. It was a fumble. All right, I'll give you that. You had the strip for the fumble. So what was I saying? George, George. I want to give a huge shout out to him. No, not only do you, take the position of Nick Cyrus. You got the jersey on, and after the season that that Southshore had, I could only imagine that there was a ton of pressure on you, especially how the first 2 games went. So to come out in a must-win game, 10 for 15, 278 yards and 4
Yeah,
touchdowns,
that's a game.
really looked like he was in command. It really looked like the game and the offense he's picking it up. There's still I still need to see it tick a little more. As far as, some of the throws were a little late, but he's really, really getting better in front of everyone's face. You know what I'm saying? So, huge shout out to George Adams. And another player that I've really been impressed with, I've seen him play twice, is number 20, Shalik Williams.
Yeah, he had a
What
good game too.
how old
Yeah.
is Shalik? He's a
Sophomore.
sophomore. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He's running hard, man. And they ran the ball a lot better in this game. And this is something, I have personally criticized Southshore for having a lack of balance. And to see him kind of take the reins and really provide them with some
Okay.
productivity off the ground. Yeah, I really liked it. He ran really hard yesterday or Saturday. So shout out to Shalik Williams. Um, I know E usually have a shout out section. You want to shout out the wide
Yeah, so
receivers? Anybody
it's a
else?
so for South Shore, now that you mentioned how like their running game, it looked pretty good against Port Richmond. Jaden Webb, number 5,
Mhm.
very nice run, TD run. I think it was for what was it for 36 yards. A couple of the linemen for South Shore. It was some real nice holes. Number 50, I'm sorry, Carlos Davila. Number 62, Aniel Human. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. But I definitely seen number 50 making a few nice blocks and number 62 as well. And another kid that I want to shout out because he had to make at least 3 or 4 tackles on kickoff. That's such an underrated part of the game where a lot of people don't notice it. Number 18, Khalil Thompson for South Shore. He made just about every tackle on kickoff for them. So, shout out to him for hustling and flying down there on specials. Um, you mentioned number 28 already, Andre.
Yeah, he was a dog,
Peter
man.
Jean Baptiste. Um, He's an E-hole transfer, I believe. But the only thing I would say with that is I feel like he needs to be on the field more. I noticed in some formations, he wasn't on the field. But Peter could definitely play. I like his energy. He's always around the ball. One kid from Port Richmond who, you're always gonna mention Cromwell and Zimmerman, but the kid number 1, Connor Evans. Um,
Yes. Oh
that's
my
the
God.
kid.
Fake kick on the
Yeah.
fake field goal. Just crazy.
Yeah. The fake on the field goal, he scored on that. He had a nice touchdown catch. He finished with 4 catches for 76 yards and a touchdown. So good game for Connor Evans, number 1 on Port Richmond. Because he I'm pretty sure he gets overlooked with the 2 athletes that Port Richmond has. So he definitely had a good game.
Yeah, man. Shout out to everyone in this game. Anything else, Jared? Anything else in this game?
No, I mean, I think we went over a lot of things, but kind of like what you just said at the end, Port Richmond, obviously we're going to talk about Zimmerman and Cromwell a lot, but their supporting cast, man, it's underrated, and it's going to be, a huge factor in what they're doing over there as they're, looking to make the playoffs, and they got some big games coming up, so it's going to be fun to watch.
Absolutely. And I just want to shout out the chat. We hit 100 people for the first time this season, so that's always awesome. I know it has a good amount to do with everyone being home, but really appreciate. Trevor said,
Secondary gets no love.
Yo, why are you gonna throw off the show? Trevor, why are you gonna throw off the show? Like, we literally didn't just give you your own section of the show.
You had to miss it, right? I mean, damn. At least there's replay.
I would say this since he mentioned in the secondary, D'Anthony, number 6, the Madison transfer. He definitely looked good. Now against Tottenville, I noticed he didn't play till I believe it was the second half. But he's definitely, I feel like, one of the top corners in the city. So he was out there making plays. So shout out to number 6, D'Anthony. You know, Trev, we already gave you your flowers, Trev.
I hate what you did, E, because you just gave them power, man. You just gave them power by giving them what they want, man. See, Lyle, why is it the Southshore kids throwing off the show, though? Why is it y'all kids? Come on, man. But yeah, shout out to D'Anthony. That's a player I do like. That is a player I do like. All right, guys, I'm gonna be honest with you, and hopefully it's not too disrespectful. We're gonna speak about these next games a little more quickly.
Yeah.
Honestly, these 2 games were clearly, to me, the 2 games that I feel like, I saw the most, I learned the most, I got the most value out of. Like I say, we learned the most. These other games, we didn't learn that much from these games, but let's go over them. So this one actually was the most interesting one to me, though.
Yeah.
35-8, Lincoln over JFK. Jared, you want to go first on this one?
Yeah, man. I got to watch this game as it was going. Shout out Lincoln Media doing their thing. Really enjoyed their
shout out to
stream.
Lincoln Media.
Yeah, shout out Lincoln Media, man.
I watched that too.
Yeah, really, really good stuff. Anyways, Francisco Ortiz, how about it, man?
Oh my
over 100
gosh.
yards receiving, 2 touchdowns. He made some huge plays where I was like, wow, that's some game-breaking stuff right there. Christian Borje played well. That connection between him and Ortiz, excellent. It was fun. And Makai Negron, he just keeps on showing how good of a player he is. I'm really excited to watch him play. Makai had, I want to say, over 100 yards. I think it was actually 120 on the ground for him. He played really well, and Lincoln matched Kennedy's physicality. They really did. They did a good job on defense, and was very impressed with Lincoln. After those first 2 weeks, they're really starting to find themselves again and play great football.
Yeah, like Jared mentioned, Borje and Ortiz, great connection between those two. I feel like, Makai is putting himself on a map this year. Every week he gets better. Shout out to Alvarez, speedy recovery, because I feel like that duo with Ortiz and Alvarez would have definitely been making tons of plays. Shout out to the field general. Ron Jones, I believe he had 11 tackles.
Yeah, dude.
Ron was all over making plays. So I feel like Lincoln is actually going to hit a groove now going forward. And I expect them to get better every week as well. So I feel like they took care of business here. They did what they were supposed to do, winning against Kennedy. But a good win is always, a good win is always what you need. So shout out to Lincoln for pulling this one off.
Yeah. So if someone doesn't mind, I'll give them the chat some homework. If you guys someone can maybe Makai in the chat. Hopefully you're still watching. If you could just send me, like, on the Sage Media page a voice note of how to say number 63's name, because I really want to say his name right. Brian Marcelli.
Yeah, he be. Yeah.
Please, send me a voice note, because
he's good.
Is one of this is one of the best defensive players in this league.
What grade is he in?
He's the senior, and
he's a senior.
Was he? He could not have been on this team last year, because we would have seen him last year.
Yeah.
So someone tell me where Brian number 63 came from, because this is my second game watching him. Playing against Curtis, he was one of the standout players.
Yeah.
Was absolutely gonna get a shirt if they won that game. He was on the team last year, so shout out to OC and the player development.
I think he had stats last year.
That's crazy, because I feel like he could have definitely contributed. So, I don't know.
It says
he didn't play much last year. Wow.
Yes, that's not exactly. Yes, that's not available. But I guess he didn't get that much burn.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
listen, player development at Lincoln, man, not the first time we've seen it.
Absolutely, Jared. Yep. Good point. Good point.
Yeah, that is tremendous because that that does not look like a first year varsity starter. No way. He's a terror. And when you have somebody beating Ron Jones to the punch, like I'm like, whoa, this is a good player.
And he has a motor too. Like
Yeah, man.
he has a motor. He's going all game.
Yeah, so
He got a motor.
huge shout out to him. Lincoln, listen, Lincoln is gonna, after the first 2 games of the season, we're kind of questioning a bit about, where Lincoln was gonna be, and they showed us, no, we're gonna be right where we always are,
Yeah.
competing for the championship.
Mhm.
So great win for Lincoln. Was there any? Let me check my notes real quick. So yeah, so to move on to the JFK side of things, and someone actually highlighted it earlier. Let's see. Yeah, right here. Kennedy couldn't score, but has been moving the ball efficiently against Lincoln and E-Hall. And I think this is a good point. Like, we know that Kennedy has one of the toughest schedules in the PSAL. And, to start off with E-Hall and Lincoln is just both on the road is really tough, especially with the way Kennedy want to play. And I was watching the game and I just kind of had a realization, and I guess I can bring it up with the chat. Like, if there are any JFK guys in the chat, you can definitely tell me if I'm wrong on this. But when I was watching the secondary and how they were kind of reacting to certain plays, I do wonder if it's a double-edged sword with their offense, where if they're getting the looks they need on defense to prepare for some of these games, because I do think that the league actually is moving a little bit more towards a passing league. I don't think we're all the way there yet to being like, let's say, a passing league like the Catholic League is, but I think we're slowly moving in that direction. So I do wonder if, you know, JFK is at a bit of a disadvantage, especially with the wing team. What do you got? Let me go to E first. I know you played. Like, am I talking crazy, or do you think I have a little bit of sense here?
No. Honestly, I would have to agree. Shout out to the athletes that Kennedy has. They always had some athletes. They always had some backs that could make plays. Um, but the wing T is just too predictable. It's an offense that's too predictable because in passing situations, every wing T offense, they run the same few passing plays. You're gonna do the little boot rollout passing play, and it's an offense that's just too predictable. And I don't want to talk down on the scheme because I know Coach O and the rest of the Kennedy staff, they live and die by the wing T. And but I feel like you said, with the times that we're in, you have to be able to spread a team out, have a balanced offense, and it's too one dimensional in my opinion. But shout out to Derek Batan, says he did have over 100 yards against Lincoln, but I definitely agree with you, Andre. It's just too predictable and it's too one dimensional. So
Yeah, I think it could. Like, I don't want to come down too hard on the offense because they've won city championships with this, and Coach O and everybody over there are tremendous, and they have some great athletes. I just wonder, like, more on like preparing the defense, because let's say on a play, they threw a screen to Ortiz, and he broke like 3 tackles off of a bubble screen. And listen, Ortiz is a tremendous athlete, but I definitely saw this, similar things in the
now I
Southshore game.
understand your question.
Yeah, you
Okay.
understand? Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
That,
okay. In terms
like,
of you're going against that every day in practice,
yeah, like,
I
how
see
well
what you
can you
mean.
can you simulate
Okay. Okay, I see what you
what
mean.
the
I see
other
what you
team
mean.
is trying to do? And, like, I'm assuming that
Yeah.
Jeremiah has to play scout quarterback. He has to, because how are you going to get a look? Like, how can you prepare for Christian Borghi, with a quarterback? I mean, I don't know who JFK's backup quarterback is, but yeah, I bring it up because when I was seeing the missed tackles, especially on that play, when I was seeing safeties getting over late, it was similar to the Southshore game, not to that extent, but it kind of made me think. I was like, okay, I'm kind of seeing the same issue with two different teams. Is there a reason for it? So that's what I was thinking. I think that the wing T is an offense where it's obviously going to be best if you have the athletes to push the other team around. It's as simple as that. When you have teams like E-Hall and Lincoln, who are so good up front, it can be tough. But yeah, no, huge shout out to Derek Betances. We know how that kid gives it up, man. He's a tremendous player. And I also want to shout out number 9 for JFK. How would you take that and jump into this conversation, Jared?
Wait, what'd you say?
How about you talk about number 9 and some
of
the
positives? Okay. I thought you said something about his name and how you pronounce it. I can't help you with that.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I have no idea. But this kid's a really good player, and honestly, I haven't seen at least I didn't I think I saw him a little bit last year, but I didn't see a ton. He didn't have that many stats. But dude, he had over 100 yards. He had over 100 all-purpose yards because he had 80 yards on the ground, but he also caught a pass and took it 30 yards. He looked really good, and he's just a junior, by the way.
Oh yeah,
so
wow.
JFK's got him back next year, and they have Jeremiah back, of course. So that gets very interesting. He's a good athlete, and he scored the lone touchdown for Kennedy in this game. But he's a guy who I really want to see going forward, how he develops, and I'm excited in 2 weeks from now I get to see him on the Sage Standout Game of the Week. So it should be fun.
Well, absolutely. Anything else on this game, guys?
No, we good.
All right. So now we're gonna speed a little bit, but 35-3 Curtis over Wagner. Curtis just another dominant win on the island. Who wants to take this one first?
I could go into it real quick.
Do you think,
not everyone at once, please.
Yeah, no, I could go into it real quick just because I want to give a pretty cool shout out to the Wagner kicker Corin for hitting. I think it was a 45-yarder.
Wow.
In high school football in the PSAL. It's a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. But obviously Curtis won this game. So really want to give them credit. Going against a team, Staten Island versus Staten Island, it's never an easy, matchup. Obviously, I feel like those games are always personal, but Curtis took care of business. Lockdown defense. Quadair Gomez over 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. Vin very efficient, 9 of 10 passing. Threw a couple TDs. I think one of them was to Jaden Melendez, who was carving up Wagner a little bit. So yeah, Curtis did their thing out there, and they advanced, still undefeated. Defending champs, still going strong.
Yeah, just a really, really efficient day from Benny. Just like you said, 9 for 10, 3 touchdowns, and we know what Curtis is. We know what Curtis wants to do. They want to control the ball on the ground. Very, really efficient passing. Spreading the love around. Kai Lewis, Jaden Melendez, Toriano Lewis. I'm pretty sure Toriano is a junior. Yes, he is. Yep. And I feel like we are saying his name every week. That's number 8 for Curtis. So Curtis just continues to reload with talent. Quadair Gomez, 110 for 2 touchdowns. He'll always go under the radar. I didn't say this the first week, and I should have. Quadair made Sage Media Solutions history as being the first player to earn 2 player of the game shirts. Obviously, we've only been doing this for 2 years.
Oh, wow.
Everyone didn't get it. It's a little fun fact that I'll always
That's
remember.
pretty cool.
Quadair is actually the first person to ever win player of the game twice. So he has 2 interviews, which I think is really, really cool.
Damn, he'll make us more too. Just a junior.
Yeah, no,
that's true.
He might see more. So
you gotta get him another color, Dre, or something.
maybe
you need
maybe
another
make like an orange
colorway or
one.
something.
Yeah. I gotta have you design it, man. I gotta have you design my next shirt.
I'll make some fire for sure.
Yeah, man. E, anything on this game?
Yeah, I think both of you guys said it perfectly. Curtis doing taking care of business. A game that they won in dominant fashion. But I just want to touch on, like we said, Vinny, kind of like a perfect day. I feel like Vinny's getting more consistent as week to week. Quadair Gomez has been on a tear, 100+ yards. So Parnell had 5 tackles with a TFL, I believe. Jared Sarate with a TFL as well. So, Curtis doing what Curtis does.
Very, very simple. So Curtis 2-0. Another team that's 2-0. Erasmus Hall 47-0 over Newdorp.
Yep.
This
first thing that pops up when I look at. Oh, sorry, real quick. I just want to go back here because he's a great kid. Shout out to Giovanni Bernard, 5 for 5 on PATs. Shout out to you. On that kid. So don't come for my neck. I gave you the shout out, right? All right. So real quick, when I look at this game, the quarterbacks definitely jump out to me. Tommy Zay, 7 for 9, 159, 2 touchdowns. Kendu Brown, 3 for 6, 78 yards and a touchdown. Extremely, extremely efficient game for both quarterbacks. A game like this. Oh, and Kendu, I didn't see that. Kendu Brown with 61 rushing yards for a touchdown as well.
Oh yeah, okay, Kendall.
Yeah. So this is Toad. Stop it. Toad, we just spoke. No, Toad.
Yeah.
Stop riling everybody up, Toad. All right. I see you on Instagram. My phone. I'm trying to sleep. My phone going off. Toad arguing with somebody. Yeah. So shout out to the quarterbacks. We'll definitely talk about it more once we get to the preview. But Jared, you want to talk about this game? There were definitely some big performances in this game for E-Hall.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I was talking to some people over there about it. Huge shout out to Logan Clark.
Logan had a game.
He had a game. He had, I believe it was he had a receiving touchdown. He had a pick. He had some tackles. He also, I don't think it's on the site, but I was talking to some people. I also think he added a rushing touchdown too.
Yeah.
So he had a very, very good game. And he's a sophomore, right? E?
Yes.
Yeah, only a sophomore.
Yep.
He's only a sophomore, and I remember, he was. Some people were telling me about him, going into his freshman year when he played some varsity, and going into this year. And he's had some good moments, but this is a game for Logan where he really balled out, and I'm excited to see how he builds off this, especially going into a Tottenville game that's going to be prime time. So it's exciting. He definitely had a really good game, and this E-Hall team, defense obviously was locked down. They posted another shutout. I think Rayvon Murray, 4 tackles for loss.
Yeah.
That's great. And Ricard Dobbin, got to give him credit, because without Jair and Amir, he has done a great job at the running back spot. He scored another 2 touchdowns this week. He's holding it down for them, and he's doing a very good job over there. Just a junior, by the way, as well.
Yeah, like Jared said, great points. Shout out to Dobbins stepping in 2 weeks in a row, contributing with no Amir, no Jair Lewis. So way to step in. But I would say what stood out to me, Victor didn't play this game. Victor didn't play.
Oh,
So we seen other receivers step in and contribute. I think that's a good sign for E-Hall. You got another sophomore, Nair Jackson. He had a TD catch. Malachi Ellis also had a TD catch. So I just think it's a good sign to see other playmakers step up and contribute when their number is called. So that was good to see. But this is also a game where E-Hall did what they were supposed to do. This was a dominant win for them, and yeah, this is a good win for E-Hall. But now next week is next week is the game. Friday is the game. So
Oh yeah.
we're getting to that real soon. So E-Hall, Tottenville guys, get in the chat because it's about to be that time. But first, we have to take. Anyone have anything else on this one?
No.
All right, Jared.
Good win, E-Hall. Next.
yeah, good win, E-Hall. Exactly.
We'll get to you later.
Hey, listen. If you
go,
hold on. Let me just double check because I want to make sure I didn't put. I guess it's too late if I put the wrong score on the graphic now. But this might be a crazy coincidence. I just realized. No, it's not a crazy coincidence.
No,
I did not get
score.
the score wrong, but yeah, it is indeed the same score.
Yeah.
I was like, let me quadruple check just to make sure. Real quick, my guy JL, really appreciate you, man. Becoming a member, a Sage member. Make sure you use your emojis and all that. That's my guy. I really appreciate you, JL. And just to give Tone some justice, yes, Tone. When I reviewed the tape, yes, your original comment definitely wasn't bad. He definitely replied to you talking crazy. For context, like. Yeah, Tone was just going back and forth with somebody underneath one of my interviews, and like my phone just kept going off. I was like, "Yo, this has to end, man." It's like I'm trying. I was like doing something. I was like,
"They going at it."
All right, 47. All right, I'm gonna share my screen. Okay, you guys see the score. I am gonna share my screen to show you guys the most bizarre stat line for a 47-0 game I've ever seen.
Gotta be off.
I'm still not sure.
And it's crazy.
This is correct. Like Jared is telling me this is correct.
I'm 100% sure it's correct. And I could actually explain a little bit of it as well.
Yes, please give me a second here.
Because when you scroll down, there's two things where you're like, oh, that kind of makes a little more sense now.
All right. So for context into what the hell I'm talking about, right? Can you guys see the screen well? Should I zoom in a bit? Is that good?
Yeah.
All right, so we're talking 47-0 Tottenville. Justin McGuire threw the ball once for a 53-yard touchdown. Tyjon Bent and Corey Brown ran the ball a combined 4 times. Jared, shout out to Kyle Charles. Huge shout out to Kyle Charles with the pick 6.
And so
is there something else? All right, Jared, take the wheels.
No, I didn't even mean to do that. I just had to give love to Jaden Innocent too. Both of them pick 6s.
Oh, Jaden Innocent had a pick 6.
Jaden Innocent. I'm blanking. One of the pick 6s was, I think, like 95 yards. It was
Kyle Charles.
It was, right? Okay, yeah. Kyle Charles. Huge. And I think that was at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, Jaden Innocent, pick 6. What?
Jaden Innocent, pick 6. That was huge. And I think with Tottenville, I don't know if it was like a field position thing, because I think they had some pretty good field position with like 4th down stops. But Nicholas Constantino with a huge play. I think he had a long receiving touchdown, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I guess Tyshawn and Corey on their 2 touches each, long touchdowns. Shout out Joseph Galena getting in there. Only on 6 touches, he ends up getting in the end zone. So I guess just some quick plays. Clearly, if you look at the carries and the amount of passes, we don't have to be rocket scientists to say this. Like, they did not run many plays at all.
Yeah.
And it was just all touchdowns. So I mean, field position had to be there, and the defense helped scoring. So that's pretty crazy. And you know, Tyshawn and Corey, now they're fresh for E-hole. So
First of all, again, shout out to our friends at the PSAL. But let's do some math here, right? So 1 attempt for 1 touchdown, right? And then when you come, excuse me, maybe I'm dumb here. All right, never mind. Someone else played quarterback as well. I'm like, where did these other receptions come from? But I didn't realize someone else played quarterback. Shout out to Vincent Geller. Yeah, I mean, E. Fourth, this has to be the most bizarre stat line you've ever seen, right?
Yeah, I feel like it was one of those games where, light day in the office for Tottenville. The starters didn't play much. Like Jared mentioned, very efficient, scoring quick. And I don't know if Coach Neville we're resting for the big game on Friday, thinking ahead maybe in a situation like this. But you can tell by the amount of carries and what's going on with that stat line that they were scoring quick and the starters didn't play much. So,
yep.
Yeah, so huge shout out to Tottenville. Clinton, dust yourself off. I know you guys have a tough schedule. So we understand the context. But dust yourself off. Like, you're not the first team to get blanked by Tottenville, and you're not going to be the last team to get blanked by Tottenville.
On to the next, Clinton.
This is E. This is E and Tone. This is E and Tone's favorite segment of the show.
Oh man. Oh. Not Ford almost putting up the 50 ball. That is, oh man.
Jared, do you realize that E's reaction every week is the same exact?
It's crazy.
Yeah, E, I mean, now listen, I get it. I mean,
I thought this was
so funny.
Call me crazy. I said, look at Tone, I'm logging off now.
Nah, it's
tough. Listen, by the way, respect Canarsie. I say this every single week. We understand what's happening. I'm just laughing at my friend E. That is it. That is all I'm doing. You know what? Let me let's just go here because I need to virtually shake.
Mac, you're gonna do that every week, Mac. Mac, you're gonna do that every week, Mac. Yo, Mac is gonna do that every week.
Listen, I wanna listen. Only how could I? Let me just do this. Yeah. Only one of our alma maters won this past weekend. I'm going to virtually shake Jared's hand.
Yes,
St. Anthony's dealt with Kellenberg. So my alma mater lost. E's alma mater lost. So Jared is the only winner on this panel.
You're the only one in the W column, Jared. You're the only one in the W column, Jared. Oh,
yeah.
Man.
They play Farrell next week though, so I'm a little nervous. But
that's a good game.
It's a very good game. Yeah, we'll see.
So shout out to Jared as being the only winner in this chat. But let's talk about it. Let's give some love to
Forehand.
Who wants to go first on this one?
I can go first if you want.
Yeah, go ahead, Jared. Go ahead. I seen the score and I said, oh man.
Yeah,
they didn't even look into it.
Yeah, so shout out. Obviously, they put up 44 points, but shout out to the defense and special teams at Fordham. Zachariah Benchmar, not too many people can say they had 2 pick sixes in one game.
Oh, nice.
So big time for him. And Ajani Kerry Robinson, I think he returned the opening kickoff for a touchdown. So he really set the tone. And Fordham, came out, played well. And it was good to see, Zaire Thomas, Emmanuel King, Aiden Porter kind of, doing their thing, and a good momentum win for Fort Hamilton. And now it kind of gets interesting because Fort Ham, the next couple weeks, like they play Wagner, they play JFK on the game of the week, and you go against Port Richmond. So I'm interested to see, what Fort Ham's got, and if they surprise some people. And they got that new transfer as well from Nevada. So let's see what's up. Good win for Fordham.
Yeah, like Jared said, I feel like this is a good win for Fordham. Rough start to the year for Fordham. So good for them to get in the W column. It's a couple games that can go either way for them the next couple of weeks, like Jared just mentioned. So I feel like that's a good that gotta feel good in that locker room over there for him, knowing that okay, this is a winnable matchup for us coming up for the next couple of weeks. So I'm definitely interested to see how for him does against some of these schools on it in the next couple of weeks. And in terms of Canarsie, like we keep mentioning, just play the season out. Play the season out. Don't give up. That might sound cliche and basic, but with that current situation there, you don't want to see kids quit. You want them to just play the season out. So that's my message to Canarsie. Play the season out.
Yeah, and if I use Brooklyn Tech as an example, I last saw before last year, I last saw Brooklyn Tech in pre-COVID, I think in 2019, and they played against Eagle Academy. This is before Eagle is the caliber of team they are now. Still good back then, but Eagle like quite literally ran circles around Brooklyn Tech. Quite literally ran circles around Brooklyn Tech. And then, a few years later, Brooklyn Tech are 3A champions, competing in the 4A. So, we'll say this every week and we'll sound like a broken record. Canarsie keep freaking playing. You never know what could happen. Maybe you can catch somebody lacking. It's Battle of Floss next week, right? Yeah, Battle of Floss. You still have you still have the trophy, so just like Tone saying, man, just it's going to be tough, but just play the season out. Anything else, guys?
We're good. Nope.
All right. Birdman hands. It's time. So separation week is over. I don't know what we're going to name this week, right? Because we don't name the weeks until after everything is said and done.
Here we go.
Here we go. Tottenville versus E-Hall, week 3 of the Sage Standout Game of the Week series. Now, I'm just gonna take I'm not gonna take the first shot to talk about the game in particular, but I just want to, sell the game a bit. If I even have to sell this game, E-Hall Tottenville. It's going to be sponsored by Tottenville. So, this game will be available for everyone to watch. Huge shout out to everyone at Tottenville. And a game like this at 100 Luton Lyle.
At 100 Luton.
Yep. It's a tough place.
This kind of game is just so exciting for everyone involved. This is a game that E-Hall has won a countless number of times in a row, but I'm sure Deli can say it himself. Even if he's won this game, this matchup 6 times in a row, like he wants to make it 7. You know what I'm saying? Just the atmosphere, the lights coming into it, the energy, this is Tyshawn's potentially his last time against E-Hall at this venue. Who knows what can happen in the playoffs, in a semifinal or something like that. But somebody like Tyshawn, like this game is so important for him. This game was the championship 2 years ago. This game produced 2 of the most insane finishes that maybe some of us have ever seen in both games last year. So these are the kind of games, like, I understand, like, well, maybe E-Hall is like, oh, like, we're still in get back mode. Like, Curtis is the one that we really have circled. You better not have that mentality, because Tottenville, of course, Tottenville also, it's like the three of them, like, both of y'all got Curtis circled, but just know Tottenville, I know they want this game so badly. These are the kind of games that just get everybody so excited. So I'll go Jared first, man. Just talk about this game, man.
Yeah, I mean, can't believe it's finally here. I think so many people have been waiting for it. This is such like this matchup. I mean, you were saying it. It means so much to so many people. I think the atmosphere and environment is going to be incredible. And I mean, the big story. I mean, the last time these two teams took the field was the Miracle on McDonald, and that game is going to be talked about forever. And I think everybody at Tottenville still has a really bad taste in their mouth after that. So this one, it's going to be special. And Dre, you talked about that championship game from 2 years ago. A lot of the same players like that were stars are still here, man. Like Kendu Brown was throwing the ball all over the field. Amir Morrow was a monster that game. And then of course you still have Corey and Tyshawn at Tottenville. Like these kids,
and Nick Acosta and Justin McGuire.
It gets the list goes on and on, man. It really is ridiculous that those players were so young, dominant in championship games, and now they're juniors and seniors playing against each other. It's going to be unreal from that aspect of it. Just like the emotion, the storylines, what it means to the players, can't really beat it. And on top of it, man, I know Amir hasn't played the last 2 weeks, but I'm assuming because it's Erasmus all Tottenville, he's going to suit up. You're looking at some of the best players in New York, honestly, the tri-state area. When you look at Amir Morrow, Tyshawn Bent, Corey Brown, and some other players on the other side of the football, where it's like, wow, this is one of the most talented fields that we'll see in the high school football season this year.
Yeah, I have to agree with you guys. I feel like this is a matchup that both sides had circled on their calendars once the schedule dropped. It's a game that us, the fans and supporters, had circled on our calendars once the game dropped. And just to piggyback off of what you guys said, I didn't even really think of that part where we've been watching some of these players since they were sophomores, since they were freshmen in that spotlight, and now they're seniors now. That's crazy. Amir is gonna be Amir a senior, Tyshawn a senior, McGuire a senior, and the list goes on and on. But we remember these guys playing in this big matchup when they were sophomores 2 years ago, and it's like that's crazy to think of that part. But I'm just hoping Amir is fully healthy so we can see, the two-headed monster in Tottenville in full effect, and we can see Amir fully healthy, and we can see them two go at it, and to see who steps up and who has a big game. And I just can't wait for this matchup. I honestly feel like it can go either way. It's gonna be a dogfight, like they say, and Friday can't come soon enough. Friday cannot come soon enough.
Listen, I didn't have the pleasure of playing in a game like this. I don't know. Maybe you had the pleasure of playing a game like this. I'm gonna describe what I'm talking about. Jared, and maybe you had the pleasure of playing in a game like this, but this game, I can't guarantee you many things in life, right? I can guarantee you this game is going to be talked about for a calendar year.
Yeah.
Whatever happens in this game is going to be spoken about for a calendar year. And that just makes it so special. Like all the storylines we just spoke about, the last time maybe the Brown brothers, Kendu and Kendall, are playing in this game. Everything everyone just said. Tyshawn and Justin. Nick Acosta not getting the chance to play in this game last year. Corey Brown not getting the chance to play in the regular season game at 100 Luton last year. Very confident Tyshawn wasn't 100% in this same regular season game last year. And, what could it mean for the playoffs? I know Tony here is saying at least till the playoffs. Like we just don't know, right? Like, what if E-Hall are the 1 seed and Curtis and Tottenville are the 2 seed? What if Tottenville is the 1 seed and Curtis and E-Hall are the 2 seeds? That's why we kind of have to speak about this game in this way, because it just gives respect to the athletes. And like Jared just had the greatest point, like respect to the athletes who played in this game 4, 5, 6 times. The Corys, the Tyshawns, the Amirs, the Kendalls, the Kendus. Like, definitely want to give them their respect, because it's really their stage. Like, they're the ones that have, and of course, there have been Tottenville E-Hall matchups, and I'm pretty sure these two teams have played in Yankee Stadium before. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. I think these two teams. Tone would know. This matchup has happened in Yankee Stadium before, right? So someone can let me know. But these teams have these groups of players have written the chapters. They didn't write chapter 1, but they're writing chapter 16, 17, 18, 19. So it's just okay. Thank you, Tone. Yes. Okay. Thank you, guys. Yeah. So this game,
24,
yes. So this game did play. Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Damn.
So like, this is just for New York City. Like, this matchup is just, historic. It's tremendous, and it's just a pleasure that we get to see it on the Sage Media platform, man. And we didn't even really talk about the X's and O's, because like, bro, just go play some freaking foot. Like just go. Like, this is the kind of game where it's like, yo, no matter what you plan, once you get under those floodlights and the crowd is going crazy, and you see a Dutchman on the other side, you see a Pirates on the other side, like, like the X's and O's, like, you're just gonna have to. It's just gonna be about like what you can do in the moment. That's what I think. What do you think about E? Yeah.
No, I agree. I feel like we know the talent that each side has. I feel like it's obvious what E-Hall's game plan is, and I wouldn't say obvious, but you stop Tyshawn, you stop Corey, you win the game. It's easier said than done. So, like you said, in the heat of the moment, when those lights are bright, when you got that student section at 100 Luton, 150 deep, going crazy, and then you got whatever amount of people from Brooklyn. E-Hall, everybody's going crazy from that side over there.
Oh man.
And the energy is at 1,000, not 10, at 1,000, because that's what the energy is gonna be at. And I'm pretty sure that whole community is coming out to this game because Tottenville supports. So it's just who's gonna thrive in the heat of the moment, who's gonna step up to the plate, who's gonna make the necessary big plays. We could sit here talking all night saying, this player for E-Hall has to step up, these players for Tottenville have to step up. But the time is now, like we mentioned, is here. So let's see how this one plays out. Like I said, I honestly feel like it can go either way. I feel like I'm gonna be the dark horse right now, and I'm gonna say I got Tottenville pulling this one out. Sorry, E-Hall.
Wait a minute.
Don't be mad at me, but I feel like Tottenville will get over this hump, and I feel like Tottenville will pull this one out. I don't think it's gonna be a one-sided game, but I got Tottenville pulling this one out. So I had to get that out there. Sorry, Delhi, but
they're gonna remember that one.
I had to get that one out there, man. And I pull up on y'all if y'all pull this one out, and I got nothing but respect for y'all. But yeah, I got Tottenville pulling this one out, and this is only the regular season, so it's week 3 only. So a lot of football left to be played, but
Man,
I feel like the viewers I feel like the viewers were saying we're kind of beating around the bush with this one. We're not getting to it, so I'll put my prediction out there, man. It's gonna be a hell of a game. I'll say that too. It's gonna be a hell of a game. I know it is, but yeah.
I think the big question. I mean, let's correct me if I'm wrong on this, especially in the chat. I don't think Tottenville's beat Arasmus Hall post-COVID.
Yeah, it's been a while. I
don't think they beat them post-COVID. And E-Hall's ended their season the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Can Tottenville get over that hump? And it's Tyshawn and Corey's final season together. They have all these studs. It's at home. E-Hall, from what I've heard, is a little banged up. It's kind of a perfect storm, but you still have to go out and do it. Oh man, this one's gonna be crazy. Also, I know Tommy Zay just played at New Dorp, but this is Tommy's real return to Staten Island.
Yeah, he's from there.
So they're going against, a fellow Staten Island guy within Tommy Zay and Kendu Brown, who, beat him for a championship 2 years ago. Man, it's crazy. I'm really interested to see what happens up front as well. Who really wins the battle of the trenches?
Yes.
That's going to be very, very telling. And we're gonna see. That's gonna go a huge way in this one. We know these skill players on both sides of the ball are gonna make plays. Let's see who wins up front with these linemen, though.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I don't want to leave E by himself, but I do have to call the games. I don't want people acting crazy while I'm calling the game. Oh, Dre, you said this person's gonna win. So I don't mean to leave you by yourself, E, but I am not going to declare a winner until they are on the handshake line. Let me tell you something. Everyone who was on, I went live on Instagram. I feel like an old man. I don't know how to go live. I know how to go live on YouTube and all these different platforms, but Instagram, what's going on? And I thought E-Hall was dead and buried. I thought they were buried, man. Like that last drive, they were cutting through E-Hall like butter, like Tyshawn Corey, bringing it down to the 2-yard line or whatever it was. And I was just like, dang, like, it's really over. It's really, and it was like a slow death too. I was like, dang, it's really over. And then the rest is freaking history, man. The miracle on McDonald's happened. Even in the first game, they're driving down the field. Carlo Machota punches the ball out. The ball somehow doesn't go out of bounds. Even in the miracle of McDonald, like anyone could have just fallen on the ball. E-Hall guy could have picked it up and fell down, and we were going to overtime, and it works out for the Dutchman somehow. So I'm pumped. I'm just pumped for this game, man. And E, if you end up in a shot by LJ mixtape,
you might. You really might.
Yo, listen, just know E-Hole.
Just know
it's all up E-Hole. We just talking football. Like I said, I really feel like it's a game that could go either way. I just feel like Tottenville just might get over that hump in this week 3 matchup. They might get over that hump here. So
one thing I want to say, if E gets this right, y'all better come back here a week from now to give this man his flowers. All right? Don't be like, oh, I can't wait to troll E. Yo, if he gets this right, y'all better come give him his flowers. Don't play with my boy E.
They're gonna beat me to it. They're gonna beat me to it once they see me. I'm expecting it, but I'm expecting it, but like I said, we can't wait for the matchup. a highly anticipated matchup, a matchup that the city can't wait for year in, year out. So yeah, we just can't wait to experience it on Friday.
Yeah, man. So that was awesome. That was literally my favorite segment of the year for this podcast. I'll admit that was
Yeah,
freaking
that's good.
awesome.
That's
That was
good.
awesome. You're a crazy man, but you're the man. And just like I said, I always like to hold the predictions, me personally, just until the end. No, I like to do it for the playoffs. We have some fun.
Oh yeah, I
But
respect
no,
it. I
I'm not
respect
saying it
it.
to you. I'm saying it for everyone. Like, I don't want it to be like every week. I respect, the other platforms that do like pick'ems every week. It's just not my thing, especially because Jared is really, really a reporter. Jared is officially a professional
Yeah, he
reporter now.
can't say
Like,
that.
you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like, you see the news
Jared
name
can't do
tag, like
that.
he's a professional reporter. So
Jared
there's
can't do
certain
that. You can't
there's
either, Dre. I
certain
had to be the bad
journalism.
guy. You can't either.
You
You
might end
can't
up being the
either,
good
Dre.
guy though if you're right. So we'll see, man. I was gonna say like Tottenville might be just loving you after this game, but
And like I said,
well,
next week I'll be the first one to, admit to whatever, depending how the game
yeah.
goes. But that's all. That's all with that.
Listen, I'm the guy that picked the Eagle to beat E-Hall last year. So no pick can ever no pick can ever
What about Christ sake,
be
keep
as
it up
bad as
as well.
mine, man. All right, so it is. I know we already spoke about the 3A a bit, but we didn't talk about them in detail. And 3A guys, if you guys can, I was thinking about it, if you guys have like an idea of a graphic, uh, I just don't know what graphic I could put for the 3A and the 2A talk when we do it. I'll be honest with you, unless one of y'all in the chat want to be an intern, like I'm not making. I'll tell y'all straight up, like I'm not making 26 graphics
Yeah,
for
no,
every
that's
single
fine.
game. Like
There's not
I'm
enough
not
time.
doing
Yeah.
it. I'm not doing it. So if you guys have an idea, because people are giving me good feedback with the graphics, makes it easier for people to kind of chapter mark, when we talk about things. So yeah,
I
I'd
do
say, go ahead.
I was just like I could do a couple quick 2-way shout outs real
Oh,
quick.
sure. Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
If you want to do that, something brief. How about this, man? Boys High starting off 2-0.
Yeah, boys high. Yeah.
Shout out the Kangaroos getting it done. They've only allowed 6 points through 2 weeks. They're off to a nice start in the 2A. And Eagle 3, they got to play this week and they did their thing. They're dominating, but the other undefeated teams that honestly look good and can, really make some noise. FDR, Transit Tech, and Bryant stay in the win
Oh yeah, they
column.
2-0.
They all have some playmakers, man. Bryant's quarterback, Madi, he's really good. Transit Tech, they have a bunch of guys, Daniel Hall, the McKay brothers, and FDR. I mean, you talked about FDR a ton last week. They got some really good
Mm-hmm.
tailbacks, some good playmakers. So it's interesting in the 2A, man. Shout out those schools for winning and staying unbeaten.
Yeah, I'm just taking a quick look at the 2A. Shout out Campus Magnet. They got a win. I'd say, yeah, it's definitely too early to really make any assumptions aside from Eagle 3, you know. But yeah, just huge shout out to Transit, huge shout out to boys and girls. I didn't even realize that they were 2-0 as well.
I think in terms of the 2A, the two schools we got to pay attention to, obviously, other than Eagle, are like Jared mentioned, FDR and
Mhm.
Transit, and I believe
Mm-hmm.
Eagle plays both of them. Wait, do they? Let me see.
Yeah, and they play Bryant.
Okay. So yeah, those are going to be some 2A games that we got to pay attention to because those should actually be competitive. Eagle versus FDR, Eagle versus Bryant. Yeah, Bryant is looking good. And Eagle versus Transit. So that is say a lot about how the 2A is going to actually shape out and shape up, so.
The last 2 weeks of the season are Eagle versus FDR and Transit versus FDR.
Oh, wow.
That's
That's
interesting.
very, very interesting.
Yeah.
November 9th. Look at my schedule for November 9th.
Show the
That's
2A.
actually-
Show the 2A some love.
Yo, that might
that might
be a Sunday, if I'm not tripping.
Wait, hold on. So Eagle play on this Sunday. How they both playing on the same day? Hold on.
Let me see.
Transit plays at 2 p.m. But Eagle plays. What time is the Eagle game? So if you guys are wondering why I'm questioning this, Eagle and Transit play at the same field.
Oh,
So
wow.
I'm trying to figure out. Eagle is scheduled to play at. Sorry, move my thing down. Eagle scheduled to play at 11 a.m. Oh, maybe I could do a double header.
Fire.
Somebody from Transit hit me up.
Interesting.
Oh,
Fire.
that's actually pretty interesting. FDR.
Yo, I actually might pop out for that. It's a Sunday.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
FDR Transit, keep winning. Please. I mean, when I say that, don't disrespect nobody else. But keep
Transit
winning.
watches the show, so I'm pretty sure they're gonna reach out. They definitely watch the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. Keep winning, because that actually would be a nice doubleheader that I would be interested in, especially if you guys are in the thick of the playoff race.
Mm-hmm.
That's how the show is good, man. We figure stuff out on the fly.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else from the 2A, or we can just jump into the 3A?
Let's see. What do we miss for the 2A? We could jump into the 3A. Let's show the 3A some love.
Yeah.
And some of the teams that are winless in the 2A definitely keep grinding. A Jamaica team that was in the championship of the 1A, moving up. Let me see what Jamaica played.
Coach Warren,
Just
where does he
curious.
coach? He said, "Come through."
I think
Coach
it's
Warren.
he must coach at Transit, I'm assuming.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Transit. Yeah, I might have to do that. If you say the one Mac. Wow. Oh yeah, so Jamaica lost a close game to Flushing. They got beat up by Transit. So okay, Jamaica is competitive, and I want to see Grand Street. Shout out to Coach Legree over there. So they had 2 tough games. Oh, but okay, I see. But oh God, who gave Grand Street their schedule? Have we looked at Grand Street's schedule
They
yet?
got a tough schedule, right?
What?
It's not good. Yeah.
He told
Actually really, really difficult.
Coach Legree told me that after the FDR game, he was talking to me about that. Yeah, their schedule's tough.
No favors.
For reference, I won't put it on the screen because then we're going to move on. But FDR, Eagle, Transit. So those are arguably the best 3 teams in their division.
Back to back.
Boys and girls. So arguably the best 4 teams in their division. Kip, Springfield. I know Springfield isn't so bad.
Yeah.
I don't think Jamaica is so bad, honestly. And then Christopher Columbus. So who? That's a little tough for Grand Street.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, shout out to the 2A. Maybe I'll be at one of those games late in the season. 3A talk. Let me take a look. Let me look at APR first, especially because we're going to be doing that game.
APR went crazy.
50-6 over Lane. I'm not sure what's happening at Lane.
They're
Lane
rebuilding.
had such a great year.
Yeah, they're rebuilding. Yeah, very young team. But they have a good coaching staff. So, hopefully some of that younger talent could develop. But they're going through their growing pains right now, Lane. Yeah. They had a very good senior class last year when they were making that run in the semis and everything. They graduated double-digit seniors. So, yeah, Lane is in rebuild mode.
So I see some guys talking the 3A talk in the chat. Just in case you are coming in late, just a reminder: APR versus McKee, sponsored by A. Philip Randolph High School. That is our first flex game of the week. So we are going to be at George Washington High School on Saturday. So shout out to APR and McKee, 2 teams undefeated right now. Look at us just talking about Munty while he's not here. Munty's in college, bro.
What he's doing in Buffalo.
What's he doing in Buffalo? That's good. That's good stuff.
He's getting an education in Buffalo. So shout out to my boy Munty, man. Hopefully he sees it's kind of funny. But yeah, so we are showing the 3A some love. I know Zaire was in the chat before, but I see two receptions, 95 yards and a touchdown. Big day for Zaire Jones. Ahmed Torre, hope I'm saying that correct. Well, I'm about to learn how to say it soon. I saw the touchdown column. 4 rushes, 117 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Damn.
So, and quarterback Manny, 3 for 4, 120 yards and a touchdown. Very efficient. This is funny.
Wow, that's crazy.
Munty shirt. Oh man.
I'll be having me weak.
Oh my gosh! Shout out to the coach Perlo in the chat. I actually have live streamed at George Washington Field. I did a soccer game there.
Perlo pulled up just in time.
Yeah. Beautiful field, man.
Yeah, shout out Perlo.
Yeah. It has I don't know if you guys ever been to George Washington High School. Parking, I don't think parking is great, but it has like the backdrop of New York City or something.
Fire.
It's a very nice backdrop in the background.
Fire.
I don't know exactly what it is. Me being geographically challenged. But yeah, man. Huge shout out to Ahmed here with the $2 donation. And shout out to Ahmed for understanding how to use super chat. Like, respect to everyone who puts in the super chats, but this is actually the first super chat with a message.
Oh.
So shout out to them. Yeah, can't wait to see you guys. I'm pumped for this game. Like I said, it's sponsored by APR, so everyone will get their chance to display their talents on the big stage for everyone to see. So shout out to everyone over there. Anything to say on APR before we move on?
That offense is rolling. That offense is rolling. 48 week 1, 48 points week 1, 50 points this past weekend. It's looking easy for them so far. Manny, what I'm liking is I feel like Manny is progressing and he's growing within the offense. Like I keep saying with him, we're gonna need to see him step up and make certain plays when it matters most in the playoffs against better competition in the 3A. A mentor. I gotta pronounce his name the right way, so I don't know if it's Tor or Torre, but that kid is good and he's putting up numbers every week. So I can't wait to see him this week on Saturday. I can't wait to see what he does. But yeah, APR is definitely rolling. I agree with Rao. That's a great point. I agree with Rao.
Huge test. This could be a division defining game.
Yep, absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Real quick, just for the members and everybody, Torre.
Okay.
So we were saying it right.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah, Torre. Okay. Just for an explanation, and I am going to make a video for this too, because someone at Eagle actually did ask me this question. I know the member only streams are kind of like a new thing, so it's going to take people time to get it. And the question that someone had asked was, I see the member only stuff, but I can still watch the Eagle game, so I'm confused on like what the member only stuff is. And like I said, the games that are sponsored are not going to be behind the paywall. They're going to be, viewed, able to be viewed by everyone. So yes, Eagle Academy is it? Do I need to explain this? If you guys have been around, Eagle Academy has hired me to do all of their games. So yes, all of the Eagle Academy games are going to be sponsored streams. Like I said, APR was kind enough to sponsor this stream. As being the home team, the away team could do it as well. But with sponsoring the stream, you'll see with the APR game, you get those advantages. You get to promote certain things within your school, your program, with videos, images, and stuff like that. So that's the benefit of being a sponsored stream. And of course, with it being free to watch for everyone, just more exposure for your school. For this question, which I have on the screen, will there be Randolph emojis? Yes, there are going to be Randolph emojis, and I want to give a huge yes, sir, a huge shout out to. I want to see the exact number. Yeah, so we have 61 members, man, which is just so freaking awesome, man. Really appreciate everyone. As I gain more members, I get access to more emojis. So I'm trying to see how many I have access to right now. Let's see. I think I have 12 emojis. So what you're gonna start seeing is that, obviously, we have every team we've done so far has an emoji. To make room for other teams, let's say if worst came to worst, like I would take away the Port Richmond and the Brooklyn Tech emoji to replace it with the McKee APR emoji. Hopefully that makes sense, guys. Okay, let's talk about the McKee game. McKee 30-0 over Bayside. How about, I know this is someone that Jared was talking about before, David Knight, man, 10 for 12, 159 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, it's a very good stat line, very efficient, which is huge. And I mean, we know McKee and Cinque Thomas are going to have success on the ground. So the fact that, their passing game is getting going too, it's is definitely scary. And also, if we remember, that Port Richmond McKee game was actually really close. Like, I think that first half might have been like near scoreless.
It was close. Honestly. It was close. I think until late in the second or in the third. I forget when Port Richmond pulled away.
Yeah, and they were slowing them down, and then you meet one of the best players in New York City, Kasim Cromwell, and he ends up having a day, and that's just what happens. He's a special talent. But I think it kind of goes to show you, look at McKee's defense. They ended up shutting out, Grady, and then they shut out Bayside, and they held New Utrecht to single digits. Then you're going against an APR offense that's just absolutely lights out with at least what they're doing in the 3A right now. So something's got to give. And I'm just happy that we get the stream of this, man. This is gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, one thing I want to say quickly too is that I remember taking notes while watching that Port Richmond McKee game, and one thing I noticed, I was like, it must be something in the water in Staten Island, because McKee also has an extremely gritty offensive line. So it's gonna be like when a massive force, meets an unstoppable object, whatever the saying is.
Oh, and they're going against APR's D line.
That tremendous D line. So I'm really, really excited for that matchup. And
that matchup in the trenches,
And how about not to put you on the spot, but Cinque, 9 attempts, over 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's a talent.
Cinque is putting on every week. I seen some of that live stream against Port Richmond, but I'm gonna watch this full game on Saturday. Obviously, if McKee wants to pull this one out, he's gonna have to have a game. And it's another kid who I've been noticing every week he's producing for them, Rafael Guerrero. I'm assuming that's their wide receiver 1.
Yeah. Big game.
Yeah, but he's been playing well the past few weeks. He gets targeted a lot. He had 7 catches, 103 yards with a tutty. So that's another kid we're gonna have to pay attention to, Rafael Guerrero. So yeah, I feel like APR. I feel like McKee has some pieces offensively, and like Jared mentioned, APR been coming in hot week in, week out. So can McKee kind of cool them off a little bit, or will APR just keep on rolling and keep their streak going? So this is going to be interesting, and it's going to decide a lot, like people keep mentioning in the comments. So
Yes.
It's gonna decide
I
a
was just about
lot.
to say that.
So,
Like what Rel said, because it's so interesting. Like Sheepshead Bay is obviously an unbelievable team, but you look at the PowerPoints and how it's going to shape up because of where FJM was seeded in the preseason. I'm not sure if they're going to get enough points to be in that number 1 seed conversation, regardless if they go undefeated. I don't think they will. So McKee and APR, 2 really good teams. I know it's early and you have Madison, you have other programs. This game right here goes a long way of, the winner could potentially be a top seed. Who knows?
Man, like I said, we're through the first quarter of the season. It's the beginning of the second quarter. So let's see who makes the big statement in that big game of the week matchup. Also, just a reminder, and I should have sent this to you earlier. So if you're still in the chat, Coach Perlo, this again is a game of the week. So APR, you are eligible to win the Sage Standout Student Section Scholarship. So definitely tell everyone to pop out. It's a later kickoff, very interesting 2:30 kickoff on a Saturday.
oh,
I'm
that's a
actually curious
later
to see.
kickoff too.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm curious to see the turnout for that. I think I saw maybe on social media or somewhere, maybe Perlo messaged me. I can't remember. I saw that this is one of the first games that ABR is playing in their borough or whatever. So hopefully it makes it easier for the APR faithful
To get out
to
there.
come outside. Yeah, man. So how about we talk about one of the another top contender in the 3A, which is James Madison, 30-12 over Benjamin Cardozo. The thing that let's see, is this number 3? Pretty sure he's number
It's another
3.
good one.
Oh, he's number 5. Excuse me. Oh, only a sophomore. Travis Leahy.
Wow, I didn't know he was a sophomore.
Yeah, Travis Leahy, 13 rushes, 101 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Two tuds. Mm.
He scored in the game against Newdorp. And I know it was number 6 last week who was the hero. Another sophomore. Ooh, they were cooking. Gavin Pelzer. He was the hero last week with the 3 touchdowns against Truman. He didn't have.
Yo,
Go ahead.
Dre. Also, so I was gonna say, scroll down too to see what's even crazier. With Travis Leahy, he had over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. Also adds a kick return to the house too.
Wow, I didn't see that.
Wow.
So kid change, yeah, he was a game changer this week, man. It's impressive stuff what Madison's up to right now. It's good. And also with Madison, like they got 2, impressive wins. Dude, their schedule is pretty hard. I'm not gonna lie. They are playing against Sheepshead Bay, McKee, and APR.
Oh, wow.
And
Dang. Let me go see that schedule.
Hold on, let me put this on the screen actually.
Wow.
Yeah,
sharing
like when they're playing
am I
and
sharing
stuff.
this already? Yeah, this is
There it is. Yeah. Look at the schedule, man.
Utrecht Lane. Okay, then they got Sheepshead. Then they have Midwood. Yeah. Wow. That stretch right there after Lane.
Yeah, dude.
After Lane.
Playing probably the 3 best teams in the conference.
Wow. That's a tough stretch.
yeah. So Madison is and it's crazy too because if you think of I guess if you think of like if you put the teams in a hat of who you play. So if they break the PowerPoints into like the top half and the second half and the bottom half of the league, and like, okay, here's a hat of the bottom half of the league in PowerPoints, and then you pull Sheepshead Bay. Like really? Right. I pulled Sheepshead Bay as my lower tier matchup. So that just makes the schedule so much harder for them. But we'll see. Utrecht Madison is going to be a great game.
Yeah.
And I see some campaigning going on in the chat?
Chicken and ribs.
This is the second time a
Mac,
Mr.
Mr.
McFadden has put something like that in the chat.
Mac, you talking nice, Mac.
All I'm saying is we take bribes over here. It's a business. So
yeah, recipe. Oh man, what Rasta pasta too?
Man,
if you got Rasta pasta, count me in. I'm coming too. Now you saying all the right things.
Got any fish, man? Like
yeah,
you got some roast fish. Like some of us don't eat the pork, man. So you know what I'm saying? Like you got some roast fish. Like what's going on, man? That might seal the deal. Some roast fish. That might seal the deal. Oh, now look at everybody in the chat. Like, I might have to pull up.
Yeah, I might.
Really?
I said the same thing. I was like, dude, I might just try to get my assignment
for
over
the
there
free, for the vendors, for the free
snapper.
Yo, this is. Look at how many people say, "Yo, I might have." This is a brilliant marketing campaign.
And he said it's a block party vibe. Wow. Yeah.
What?
Wow.
Nah, forgive me, Madison. I'm sorry. I'm completely sidetracked. What time is that kickoff? Oh, it's right in front of me.
12.
Oh, it's a noon kickoff?
Noon kickoff.
I know it's a little late in October. Hopefully the weather is all right. Because that could be a day.
Break.
It could be break. It's usually like Halloween is when like it's officially break.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jared might have to come from Long Island for that, man.
Word.
I'm like honestly like thinking about trying to pull that off somehow.
He said the Rasta pasta with the red snapper. Like what? All right.
Especially if they treat media good over there.
Yeah, that sounds like a win-win situation. Yeah.
Oh man.
All right, that is so funny. Forgive me, Madison. We were literally just talking about you guys, but yes, really tough schedule for Madison. They seem to be.
Dude, Mac, bro.
Yeah, man.
It's ridiculous, bro.
Yo, Jared, Jared, we definitely need to bring you the footprints when you come out to Brooklyn, though.
Yeah.
I'm excited,
Footprints
bro.
is great eats.
Elite. All right, this whole live stream has just been thrown off.
Yeah, because Matt, bro. Whether it's our own chat or this chat, here he goes.
Right?
We ain't even talk about the Sharks though. So let's talk about them real quick.
We might as well, right? We might as well.
Since we on that topic. We ain't talking
28-8.
28-8.
What they upload the stats? Did they throw it all? No touchdowns. Okay, that's very unshark like.
Damn, Big Back ain't throw the ball this week.
He said he had a game, bro.
Wait, I thought Ahmed was hurt. I guess he's back. Okay, I thought Ahmed was hurt for the year.
Oh, Uzzi had a game. Okay.
I'm really happy for Ahmed Cisse. I thought he was out for the year after I can't even look at the chat. You guys are cracking me up right now. Ahmed Cisse, I'm happy that he is okay. So 6 carries, 67 yards and 2 touchdowns. But when I look at the score, this kind of looks like an elite defensive day. When I look at it,
it was bugging on defense.
Jacob Reed, Jesus Christ, 4 tackles for loss, 2 interceptions for Christian Wallace.
Oh, man.
Brett with 7 tackles.
7 tackles as an interior lineman.
Yeah, they was going to work on defense.
Yo, Jared, just talk about the Sharks, and they're one of the, I would say, as far as like the most impressive teams. Like I'd say, like when I say the most impressive teams, I'd say like aside from the teams that we are always impressive, Like Eagle and the Sharks have to be the two teams in that category.
Yeah, I think they're two of the biggest stories of the early PSAL season, right? I mean, they both looked good in non-league play. We were talking about, I mean, they, took the trip to the Catholic leagues, beat Fordham Prep and Savaria, and I was like, wow. And they beat them very impressively. So I was like, wow, man, the Sharks and Eagle looking good. And they've only gotten better since that. And they have just been really, really talented. Those are definitely two of the biggest stories. But FJM, they're getting it done on both sides of the ball. And defensively, we just read through these stats, really impressive. They really shut down John Adams the majority of this game. Had a shutout the week before. It's just impressive stuff, man. And they get John Jay this week, huh?
John Jay.
John Jay. They took a loss to Utrecht. Maybe that's a decent transition. Shout out to no stats. Moving on. Let's go back to JF.
Yo, E, I swear, if you have stats,
no, I don't got I don't got no stats, bro. But I do know. I'm weak. I think they said I seen on IG. They said that was the New Utrecht's head coach first W. As the head coach. I think his name. What's his name? Coach Delves.
Oh, Wendell.
So,
isn't it Wendell?
Well, yeah, Wendell.
Isn't that Wendell?
Let me check the Instagram. Hold on. I know I seen on IG. They said it was his first official.
I saw
win.
that too, and I was confused. Yeah, it's Coach Wendell. Did they not win a game
over this year? I believe. Wait, did he?
No, he was
say the wrong thing. He was the head coach last year too.
He was the head coach last year. Okay, I guess they mean in the PSAL. So okay, they didn't. Oh, I didn't realize. I'm not even trying to fry them. I didn't realize they didn't win a game last year. Okay.
Because that had me a little confused.
So he means in the PSAL. Yeah, I was kind of confused too because I was like, I know, I literally had them as a game of the week last year,
and I always see him. I recognize his face.
I streamed there twice, so I just didn't realize that they didn't win a game. So huge shout out to Coach Wendell. I did not know that was actually your first career win as head coach. And they beat a John Jay team. And John Jay won the week before, right? Yeah, John Jay beat Bayside. I just want to look at. I think this was a big offensive day for John Jay. Yeah, I mean, 124 yards, 2 touchdowns. No, I see saying that Utrecht has a serious O-line.
Oh wow, really?
Yes. So
if that's serious, I mean, you bring back that back from last year.
It could do some things, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and they lost to a good McKee team week 1, so we really can't go off. Like it's not like you can count them out or anything. And they just got a big win over John Jay. Shout out Utrecht. Who do they got next week?
Utrecht. Oh, so yeah, Alcindor definitely had a day against McKee to fight only for him.
And they were up.
He had over 100 rushing yards.
Yeah.
When I was writing that game, wait, Dre, if you don't mind going back to the McKee game, I'm almost positive I wrote that McKee came back. So if we could look at the box score,
yeah, it was only 2 points. Oh, they're up 2. Oh, until the fourth quarter.
McKee, Utrecht had him.
This week is Utrecht
in the PSAL.
Yeah, this week is Utrecht Madison.
Wow, that's a good game too. What day is that game?
That's gonna be
Saturday.
If it's 6 p.m., I'm assuming it's Friday night. Let me see. It must be at Utrecht for the lights, right?
Yeah, they might have it on the lights over there.
E, are you not coming to? You're not coming to JF to Staten Island?
Oh yes, it's over. Yeah, it's over.
I like the thought. I like the thought.
I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Unfortunately, that's not happening.
Nah, you are really terrible.
But Madison, I definitely want to check you guys out this year. I love seeing offenses that make plays. So I definitely want to see Madison in action this year.
Oh,
Utrecht Truman might be a game.
Yeah,
bro.
that too. Yeah.
Oh. Be a really
you see, look at him in the chat now. You see, you messed up.
Yeah, E, pull up Friday.
I'll see you guys real soon. promise you that. I'll see you guys real soon.
That is so funny. So they played this game last year. So we just saw. I'm assuming, yeah. So, oh yes, I actually do remember this game. 36-28, James Madison last year. Let me see if I see any familiar names.
Yo, El Sindor had a game though, that's for
Oh
sure.
my Jesus. Oh. Well.
Nah, that says
They can't stop 'em,
222.
bro.
Yo. Nah, what? 200 on the ground?
Nah,
Yeah,
maybe you got to pull up. I don't know. E. This game might be high. No, that's kind of crazy though. Like this team is completely different. I'm not seeing. Is Szymanski? I think Szymanski is still on the team.
Damn, that was an OT game last year. Nah, that was a game.
Wow. Madison Utrick. Okay. So I'm excited. I mean, Madison. Just look at their receiving core. Like, and it's their whole receiving core is different. I see Gavin in the chat. Obviously, we know Juju is at Eagle. Hannaford's at Southshore. Did these kids graduate? Yeah, so he graduated. So yeah, it's almost like a new look team here. Okay, yeah, so yeah, Szymanski is still there. I mean, Szymanski had a good game in the game of the week last year against Newdorf. So this is definitely a game that we're gonna have to come back to next week, guys. Like this is gonna be a good one. So shout out to Madison and Utrick. I know another one we had mentioned was, let me see if I can make my way to them. Is Truman. Truman on the road, a 20-0 over Midwood.
Yeah.
Somebody did the math wrong here. Anyway.
Midwood, what's going on?
Yeah, moving on. Siobhan Richardson.
I don't know what's going on with Midwood.
Yeah, I might have to make a phone call because I'm curious to see, coming into the season, Midwood, Midwood dropping down, with quarterback, I definitely expected them to be a top contender. I understand it's only 2 games, but definitely didn't expect them. Now, they lost to Stuyvesant last week, right?
Yeah.
Well, no, maybe these 2 losses aren't as bad as we think because Stuyvesant is proving to be better than we thought, right? Stuyvesant beat Lehman this week. 3 ain't kind of popping. Stuyvesant.
Yo, their field, by the way, dude, I didn't know. Like, I guess because I'm from Long Island, Stuyvesant's field looks kind of sick.
It's not like the pier or something, I think.
Yeah, dude, it's sick. Like the background and stuff, it's crazy.
I've actually never been to Stuyvesant.
Me
If someone can send me a
40.
Dude, yeah, I think like
no
it's
parking
you got,
out
like,
there.
Yeah, probably no parking,
dude.
There.
Wow,
we
it
got
really
some,
is on the pier.
Yeah, because I was gonna say I think it's on the water and like the whole city behind it.
You guys can't even see the screen. Cool. Sorry, hold on. I don't even know how to work this thing. Hold on. How do I make you guys see the screen? I'm trying to. Is that gonna work? Here we go. I'm trying to see if I can like zoom in on it because I actually don't even know what their field looks like.
It's like scenic.
Yeah.
Is there a way I can like drop a person on here and then it like I can actually see what's going on? I'm not doing it. This is the most off the rail podcast we've ever had. It's funny.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Someone on Instagram
just chopping it up.
Yeah, someone on Instagram like show me. Oh, they play at Chelsea Piers. Oh, I didn't even realize this is in Manhattan. Oh, duh. All right, I know what this looks like. All right, we don't need to do this.
Yo, parking
no
must
parking
be tough,
out there.
No, there has to be.
I'm a big parking lot guy.
There has to be a lot. I mean, certain boats come out of Chelsea Piers. If you know, you know. That's all I'll say. If you know, you know. This is a family friendly show. But press the satellite image on the bottom left. Do you guys see a satellite on the bottom left?
Right there, I think he's assuming that little box right there. Like, I think
Do
that's what
you
he's
see my
talking
mouse? Or
about.
like, wait,
Move to the right a little bit. Yeah, I think that. Yep.
this?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's still not up.
that didn't do anything.
Oh, that's
Okay,
really the
I see
field.
what it
Okay,
did there.
yeah, okay. That was like a soccer field.
Yeah, it's not like the crazy, but it's on the wall.
Oh, you
Yeah.
know what? I think I do know what this looks like now. Yeah. No, the backdrop must be
Oh,
nice.
there's a parking lot over there
How
too.
are the stands here though? Where would the stands
Yeah,
be?
it's interesting. It's
Standing room.
Yeah, is this like Murphy Field where I was fighting for my life to just to stream the game?
Yeah, nah. That's annoying. That's annoying trying to stream like that. Like, nah.
Oh no,
No seats, no stairs.
The stage scaffolding is coming soon. It'll come sooner if we get more more members.
Yeah, that's a great idea. That's a great idea.
Yeah, shout out to JL. JL actually was the one who kind of put me onto
Suggested that. Oh yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah. So that was a bit of fun. So yeah, Truman versus I should have kept sharing the screen. Truman versus Stuyvesant. The 3A, and that's a Friday night too.
Yeah,
Yo,
3-8, spicy.
I'm telling you, E, you're gonna have to hire some
Show some
people to
love.
TYJ soon, man.
No, I know. Start having them pull up to different games.
Yeah, man. But
3A, week in, week out.
Listen, guys, I am actually gonna cut this short because I just looked at the time. We got carried away, freaking talking about red snapper, pasta. Looking at
Oh, for real.
So shout out to everyone, man. If we didn't get to you, listen, we were on here for 2.5 hours. All right, so give us a break. Just a reminder. Just a reminder, APR versus McKee, Saturday. That's the flex game of the week. And of course, the big one. Tottenville versus E Hall, man.
Let's go.
Can't wait for this game.
Game time.
Of course, the full Sage Standout game of the week schedule. Like I said, man, I'm on Instagram and there's about 800 games of the week. Y'all know the game of the week y'all want to be a part of, man.
Yeah.
So it's freaking awesome that we get to do Tottenville E-Hall. Also, that we get to do APR McKee. Like I said, y'all, just let the process work out. A lot of people messaging us, yo, come to my game. If you win, we gonna find you. You know what I'm saying? We know what we doing. We're selling the league in the right way. You guys gotta trust us. You know what I'm saying?
Everywhere. We everywhere. Ain't no telling.
Definitely.
Ain't no telling where you will see
Right
all of
now
us.
we got Jared Newsday. He got Newsday covering the PSA. We got y'all, man. We got y'all.
Right. Yeah, it's just a start.
Give bro his flowers again. Gotta give you your flowers again, Jared, for that.
Yeah, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
All right.
We got good. It was good stuff going on.
Naj, no. Just because you asked. I thought
we talked about it already.
We literally talked about it.
He probably just pulled up. Yeah, we definitely did. You took
Jared, any closing words?
I mean, like always, good luck to everyone playing. Enjoy it, but man, a big week of exciting matchups, dude. This is what you guys all work for. Like, let's see it, man. And finally, if you guys are still on the chat and you're gonna be at E-Hall Tottenville, see you there. I'm pumped, man. I'm making my way out. It's gonna be exciting. Let's do it. Nice article for Newsday, and I'm gonna be interviewing players. It's gonna be a fun time for sure.
Thanks everyone for tuning in. First of all, we got an exciting week coming up. some interesting matchups in the 4A as well as the 3A. So can't wait for the upcoming action, So see you guys out there on Friday and Saturday as well.
I think this is the perfect way to end it right here. I see y'all bickering in the chat.
Yeah.
This is where I'm not even gonna say nothing else. This is where we're gonna end it right here. The pads will talk, and then Jared, E, and Dre will break it down. But we're the only people who have to talk. The pads and New York football talk. That's it. That's it.
Nobody else. Yep.